I'm sorry. My view on significance and that it's given comes from my method of Bible study, the way that I've been able to ask and find out where I fit in to the kingdom. There are some teachings that are going on around us right now that I find people have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm going to do a couple clips on, just talking about those. And the first one is what's prophesied about importing bad teaching from a treacherous teacher. And we've had that, and that comes from prophecy, prophetic teaching, the word used for this false prophet, these teachers. It's a word that can mean both. It's teaching. And that we've had a lot of prophecy teaching going over to visit as a touristic trap. And their teachers are actually named, one of them, which is a pretty good sign, ashkenaz, which is in the lineage of Cain, and spelled out to be goy. Not Jew, although the name means Jew does. He's not Jew. And these teachings have gone towards to the letter and learning the language and all the rights and all the do's and don't do's. Prophecy goes on to explain how that the idea of Ephraim's two-furrowed plow, the political debate of confusing good things with what is holy and what God's about, and that you lose the spiritual value. We've definitely seen the political argument, and so many surrounded by political issues that have come from understanding more of the times we live in being prophetic. But there's no argument that there's been huge attempts and opportunities that have been taken to manipulate things through political opinions. It goes on that these teachings that we brought back, rather than helping people use good judgment and strengthening that needs strengthening, we're talking about spiritual life and death, that the good judgment we're supposed to use is actually an execution of judgment by bitterness. And actually not just being bitter at everything and being a troll to people, but actually using the system against those who disagree. You have to understand that our teachings come from civic orders. This was a nation that we're talking about, but it was a human being and a family that God came to. And that's how He's preserving it. And there's no mistake. But that these teachings lead to such bitterness. These are the things of mischievous designs that keep you awake at night, plotting and planning, and you can't go to sleep until you've gotten even and know how. So the next morning you get up and you go do it. You're laying on the bed. This is the cup. This is the cup of bitterness, accusation, and a logic that is addictive. These are teachings that go back through Cain, but for now, these are symbols to the human condition of our soul and our spirit, and that combination in our thought process. This is an addictive logic that empties out, desolates, and takes over. A drunkenness, a total drunkenness. It's a power trip, a pious, righteous power trip. So these teachings, get the plow going. You're going to take over this nation, so you get it all in an uproar. But this is the global design. These are methods. This is collection and colonization for empire. Is talking about in God's Word. So it's important to get the earthly, these four horses. These are, which is everybody knows now, parts of the system that, drive our market and our future and what we do agree on for law. Let's see, that's the two plow. Yeah, and how does it work? Well, it's described as discovery is the neck at the foundation. And you do drive people back to their founding fathers. Well, Christians should see that foundation of Christ, the beginning, the alpha. But this is to drive you back and it's really, really maniacal. Let's look at the Constitution. Everybody understand that, and that it's being attempted to retranslate and redefine, update. But it's a technique. It's a technique. What were the intentions? But it's an excuse to get something in there as a leverage to use. The mystery of it is a city. Oh, what about that? Well, idol worship is in every city still today. And there are these secret society groups and what might have been considered as military intel, the upper echelon, the lords, the earls, but that extend the philosophy and lobby to the peasants, us peasants, and our education system and where the money's going to go. And that's basically what your law's political system is about. Who gets the money to do what? And now we're recruiting far too many programs and installing laws that just, frankly, look like China. But this discovery at the neck, this is, what turns your head? What is your mark? What is that finish line to you? The eye on the prize. If you're going to lay in bed at night and your prize is a big plot and plan of getting one up, getting power, how to fail someone else, it's it, and it's what it's writing about. But that this false teacher that has been imported in, and that has happened. These teachings, that the name ashkenaz goes around. Not only is it scientific and nano and genetics, a name that you find that, most people get up there and talk about it. Maybe it's and a qualification. But they like you to know they're ashkenaz by name. And I'm going to forget what they're talking about to tell you. But for now, I guess, this was the system. What we import in, then, is described as being a normalization. It's described as works and metals. And when you look at metals, you'll find it's talking. You're talking about controlling the healthcare. You're talking about pharmacia, a deception that collects all the nations to this civic order that's secret. And this mystery, you cannot tell it. It's a censorship that does not allow disagreement, so that they get to tell you what their values are. And that the world gets so confused in Isaiah and in the prophets that we really do want to go back. We want to get it right. We love God. And we're driven back and attracted to the Jews. And the whole world wants to redefine. Well, technology is doing that with military power and secrets now, as that field is cybersecurity. And I follow a lot of that, which I'm not going to speak of so much right now. But you'll find this in Isaiah and repeated in the minor prophets. And it explains Revelation and helps you be a watchman, knowing what to watch and how to separate these disciplines and not jump to the conclusion that you have all the answers. Most of this only stays secret because it's the trade. It's making a merchant